Hi, this is Kayla Dykes, and I am going to speak with you about inclusive leadership, specifically within a library media center. So how can inclusive leadership be applied to a library media specialist position in an elementary school? I think to fully answer that question, we first have to know what inclusive leadership means. I found two wonderful videos on inclusive leadership. The first one I found was by Emberen, and it's on YouTube, and it was titled, What is Inclusive Leadership? And it's pretty short, so I wanted to share that with you in its entirety. Okay, so as we saw in that video, there's a difference between diverse and inclusive. Inclusive leadership does not mean just hiring a diverse group of employees to have a variety of genders, ethnicities, ages, disabilities, and races within your employees, but inclusion means being open to a variety of ideas and knowledge from everyone in your organization. So you're taking those ideas from all the genders and ethnicities and ages within your organization to come up with solutions. Problem solving. Inclusive leadership is great for problem solving and decision making within an organization. With inclusive leadership, you're not asking a group of people with similar backgrounds to come up with a solution. You're asking a diverse group, which gives you a wide range of ideas and ways to look at a problem and come up with solutions. My second video was by Weyerhaeuser, and Weyerhaeuser is one of the world's largest private owners of timberlands. The company manufactures wood and cellulose fiber products. This quote I really enjoyed by Dan Fulton. He's the president and CEO of Weyerhaeuser. We don't only have to recruit a diverse group of employees, we also have to retain them and energize them. We do that by valuing their unique contribution and acting on it. So within their video, they asked several questions, and they asked these to multiple employees from, in the office part of their job to the president, all the way down to the factory workers. And what they all had very similar things to talk about. So the first question they asked is, what does inclusive leadership mean to you? And they said things like, employees feel like they're making a difference. Everybody feels valued. Employees feel happy and inspired and empowered. There's a mutual trust through authentic, honest, and open communication. And I like that authentic word, meaning true. It's real. You can tell that it's real. Trust and respect are a big part. Employees bring their whole self to work, and they feel their voice is heard. According to Natasha Gaynor, the payroll specialist, she said, everyone is treated the same, but appreciated for the differences that they bring. Another question they asked was, what happens when leaders are not inclusive? So some of the employees had worked for other corporations or companies that were not inclusive, and they felt that it makes it difficult to get jobs done efficiently. It affects morale. You don't get a diverse pool of thought. Employees do not feel empowered to make decisions. When employees feel they cannot address management, there's a potential for misunderstandings, and people become attached or lose motivation to perform. The outcome is less desirable. So what do inclusive leaders do? Well, they make employees feel passionate about their job. They make employees want to do better. They keep employees focused on the things that are important. They take the time to reach out to each person on their team and include them. And they want to give ownership to their team. They're not taking, when there's a success, it's not, oh, I did this. It's the whole team did it. They came up with the idea, they came up, and then they executed it. They value team members not only as an employee, but also as a person. According to Bonnie Gears, the Vice President of Community Development and Public Affairs, she says it doesn't mean that everyone is involved in every decision, but the ones that are impacted and need to be at the table are. I really like that. So, inclusive leadership makes it sound like you have to include everybody on every decision, and that could seem kind of daunting, just take everybody's ideas into mind, but really it's just the people that are impacted are all together in on that decision making. The last question that Weyerhaeuser's video asked was, how does inclusive leadership improve business results? Well, they said it creates a competitive advantage. The best ideas and best solutions are brought to the table. Interactions with diverse customers, and it attracts the type of talent that are coming out of instructional institutes. So students that are just coming, out of schooling, they're looking for companies that have this inclusive leadership style so that they can feel valued within their workplace. One of the leaders that I researched earlier this summer was Ken Blanchard. And Ken Blanchard, here's just a few things that he's done. I'm not going to read all of them to you, but he's created an international management training and consulting firm with his wife. He's a speaker and a teacher, but he's also an author and co-author of over 60 books. He talks a lot about modern leadership and his what he thinks on that. 21st century leadership should be seen as an integrated and multidimensional view of leadership that is intimately connected to relationships. It is geared towards collaboration, inclusivity, service to individuals, social good, and ecological sustainability. This form of inclusive service-based leadership is a type espoused by Dr. Blanchard, that of servant leadership. So when I was studying Ken Blanchard, I realized he was a servant leadership, or he was more towards that. And as I learned more about this inclusive leadership, I realized they really overlap each other a lot. One quote that he said was, "In the past, a leader was a boss. Today's leaders must be partners with their people. They no longer can lead solely based on positional power." And that definitely goes right into inclusive leadership. Koos and Posner came up with 5 practices of exemplary leadership. They have modeled the way, inspire shared vision, challenge the process, enable others to act, and encourage the heart. And throughout that study of that textbook this summer, I really, they all tie right into that inclusive leadership, especially encouraging the heart. So I took those 5 things and I'm going to tie this back to my position as a library media specialist. So the ways that I'm going to model the way, clarifying the values. I've created a mission and a vision statement for the library of our school, and I want to make sure that I share those with the teachers and students and all the stakeholders that I have. Setting an example, so reading aloud to students, showing the use of library and materials for both students and teachers are ways that I'm going to model the way for them. Inspire shared vision, so envisioning the future. Since this will be my first year in this position, we're going to be looking forward. Where can we go from here? I used to be a teacher in the same building, so I know what it had been like, and I'm looking at, okay, what would I have wanted in a partnership with the librarian, and taking that thought process into my now leadership in that position, and tying that to how I'm going to work with those teachers. Enlisting others. We have the same goal. We're on the same team, fighting the literacy crisis. So how can we work together to do that? Challenging the process. So looking for ways to improve, searching for opportunities, experimenting and taking risks. So we're going to have new family nights. I would like to have new organization of our materials, but I'm not going to just go right into the library and take over and do that myself. I'm going to talk with students and talk with other teachers and talk with support staff. What makes the most sense in the way these materials are organized, the books are organized, and then go from there to make up a plan for that. Enabling others to act, so fostering a collaboration with them, collaborating with teachers on lessons, and then reaching out to assist them where we can do lessons together. Strengthening others, provide materials for teachers and students as they so that they're successful within their classrooms and within their lessons that they're teaching. I can help them provide those materials. Encouraging the heart. So here's kind of how it goes back into that inclusive leadership. Recognizing contributions, sending out newsletters, and putting up student displays of the work that we do within the library. And then celebrating values and victories. End of quarter goal celebrations with students and teachers and which classrooms have read the most books. Having personal and public displays of appreciation, so sending out emails and thanking people for all their hard work that they've put into creating this new library space for the school. Susan Posner also said, part of a leader's job is to show appreciation for people's contributions and to create a climate of celebration. Yet recognition and celebration aren't simply about fun and games. Encouragement is a curiously serious business. And I take that as thinking like, you have to actually plan it. Why are you encouraging them? Well, because you're wanting them to continue what they're doing. You're wanting them to be happy within their positions as well as, my position. And so working together and encouraging each other. Inclusive leadership in the library is also going to have some challenges. There's definitely the diversity among my team members. I'm not only working with students from pre-K, I'm working with teachers. And so I've got that wide range of age. And of course, there's gender and race, abilities, socioeconomic status, etc. Things like that are going to cause some challenges. Collaborating with teachers and staff members, knowing when and how to reach out. So teachers haven't always known what the librarian is able to do for them and what we have to provide for them. And I would like to be able to reach out and let them know that. So I think it's going to be a challenge to get teachers on board with that. Teachers that have been there a long time and, could be stuck in their ways. And then, of course, taking ideas from both students and teachers to create a library media center that's useful to all. That can definitely be a challenge. Not focusing solely on what's good for students or focusing solely on what's good for teachers, combining those together. Well, and here's my bibliography. There's the videos that I shared as well as some other research that I did on Ken Blanchard. Thank you for listening.